Have you ever looked at two people in their 60s or 70 seconds and wondered how their lives turned out so differently? One is active, energetic, waking up early, walking in the garden, living without medications, while the other is constantly tired, dependent on pills, and confused about what went wrong. Both lived life, both tried in their own way, but the difference lies in something most people never fully understand. One followed habits that actually worked, while the other followed advice that only sounded right but never truly helped. And this confusion is exactly where most people get stuck without realizing it. The truth is, modern health advice is filled with noise. You hear one thing from the internet, something else from friends, and something completely different during a quick doctor visit. This creates a false sense of effort where people believe they are doing everything right, yet their health continues to decline. That's why today, we are breaking this illusion, not with complicated theories or extreme methods, but with simple, practical truths that actually determine how long and how well you live your life. One of the biggest excuses people hold on to is genetics. Almost every day, someone says, "My parents had this disease, so I'm next." It sounds logical, it feels convincing, but it's incomplete. Genetics is not a fixed outcome, it's just your starting point. Think of it like being dealt a hand of cards. You didn't choose the cards, but how you play them determines the result. And this is where most people give up too early, assuming the game is already decided. Scientific research has repeatedly shown something important: genetics only accounts for a small percentage of how long you live. The majority of your health is shaped by your daily habits, your environment, your choices, and your behavior over time. That means the biggest factor is still under your control, yet people ignore this and focus only on what they cannot change instead of what they can. Imagine two houses. One is newly built, strong, and perfect. The other is older, with cracks and weaknesses. If the new house is neglected, never maintained, it will fall apart faster than expected. And if the older house is cared for properly, repaired consistently, it can stand strong for decades. This is exactly how your body works. It's not about where you start, it's about how you maintain it. I've seen this countless times in real life. People with strong family history of disease turn their lives around simply by changing small habits consistently, and others with no genetic risks still develop serious conditions because of poor lifestyle choices. The difference is never dramatic in one moment, it builds slowly over years, through everyday actions. So before you blame your genes, pause for a moment. Ask yourself honestly, are you doing the right things consistently, or just following what everyone else says is right? Because those are two very different paths, and only one leads to real health. When people hear about family history, they often think it's a warning of something unavoidable. Heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, these conditions seem to run in families, creating fear and a sense of helplessness. But what most people fail to see is that what gets passed down is not always just biology, in many cases. It's behavior, habits, and patterns of living that repeat across generations. Think about it carefully. Families don't just share genes, they share food habits, lifestyle routines, and daily choices. If a household consistently eats processed food, avoids physical activity, and ignores basic health practices, those habits are inherited just like traditions, and over time they create the same outcomes: giving. The illusion that the problem is purely genetic. This is why two people with identical genetic backgrounds can end up with completely different health outcomes. One becomes proactive, makes small adjustments, pays attention early, while the other continues the same patterns without questioning them. Years later, the difference becomes visible, not because of genes, but because of decisions. Understanding this removes fear and replaces it with responsibility, instead of asking, "What will happen to me?" The better question becomes, "What can I do differently starting today?" Because that's where control exists, not in the past, not in your family history, but in your present actions. There's a concept I like to call the attention zone. If your family has a history of certain conditions, it doesn't mean you are doomed. It means you need to be more aware, more careful, and more consistent with your habits. It's not a stop signal, it's a caution signal. And the earlier you start paying attention, the easier everything becomes. Small corrections made early require less effort than major changes made later. This is why prevention is always more powerful than treatment. Most people wait until something goes wrong before taking action, but by then, the body has already been under stress. For years, the goal is to shift that mindset to act before the damage becomes visible, because the real power lies not in avoiding risk completely, but in managing it intelligently. Food has become one of the most confusing topics in modern health. Everywhere you look, there is a different opinion. One source tells you to avoid certain foods completely, another promotes the exact opposite. This creates confusion, fear, and often leads to extreme decisions that are difficult to maintain. But here's the reality: there is no single food that will transform your health overnight, no miracle ingredient, no magical combination. What truly matters is your overall pattern of eating over time, not what you eat once, but what you eat consistently every day. The problem is, most people focus on short-term changes instead of long-term habits. They try something for a few days, expect quick results, and when they don't see immediate changes, they give up. Health doesn't work that way. It builds gradually, just like damage builds gradually. One of the most overlooked elements in diet is balance. Your body needs a combination of nutrients to function properly. Removing entire food groups without understanding their role can create new problems instead of solving old ones. Another issue is portion control. Even healthy foods, when consumed in excess, can create imbalance. It's not just about what you eat, but how much and how often. These small details make a big difference over time. People often underestimate the impact of everyday meals. A single unhealthy meal won't cause damage, but repeated patterns over years will, and the same is true for positive habits. Small improvements, done consistently, create lasting benefits. So instead of chasing trends, focus on building a simple, sustainable pattern that you can follow without stress. As the body ages, it naturally begins to lose muscle mass. This process happens slowly, often without being noticed, but its effects become significant over time. Strength decreases, balance weakens, and everyday tasks start feeling harder than before. Muscle is not just about appearance, it plays a crucial role in maintaining stability, protecting joints, and supporting overall movement. Without enough muscle, the body becomes more vulnerable to injuries and fatigue. One of the main reasons for this decline is inadequate protein intake. Many people unknowingly reduce their protein consumption as they age, replacing it with lighter meals that do not provide the necessary nutrients for muscle maintenance. The solution is not extreme diets or heavy workouts, it's simple consistency, ensuring that each meal contains a source of protein helps maintain muscle and supports overall body function. Small changes can make a big difference. Adding protein to breakfast, including balanced meals during the day, and maintaining regular eating habits helps slow down the natural decline. The key is awareness. Once you understand the importance of maintaining muscle, it becomes easier to make better choices without feeling overwhelmed. Because strength is not something you suddenly lose, it's something that fades slowly when not supported. Vegetables often get treated as an obligation rather than an essential part of health. People think of them as bland or boring, something they have to eat rather than something that can actually improve their well-being. But vegetables play a critical role in supporting your body's internal systems. They provide essential nutrients, help with digestion, and support overall balance. The key is not forcing yourself to eat them, but finding ways to include them in a way that you enjoy. On the other hand, sugar is one of the most underestimated factors affecting long-term health. It doesn't cause immediate harm, which is why people ignore it. But over time, excessive sugar consumption creates internal stress that affects multiple systems. The challenge is not eliminating sugar completely, but reducing it gradually. Small steps like cutting down the amount in beverages or avoiding unnecessary processed foods can make a noticeable difference over time. Salt is another hidden factor. Many people consume more than they realize, not from adding it directly, but from processed foods. Reducing intake slightly can help maintain balance without drastic changes. Ultimately, health comes down to everyday choices, not one big decision, but hundreds of small ones made consistently. What you eat today may seem insignificant, but over months and years, it shapes your entire health outcome. And once you understand this, you realize that change doesn't have to be extreme, it just has to be consistent. Let's talk about something that sounds simple but is often completely misunderstood: movement. Most people fall into one of two extremes. Either they believe that after a certain age they should avoid physical activity to protect their body, or they suddenly try to do intense workouts that their body is not prepared for. Both approaches lead to the same result: injury, frustration, and eventually giving up completely. The truth is, your body is designed to move. When you stop moving, it doesn't preserve itself, it slowly starts shutting down functions that are no longer being used. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, circulation slows down, and even your metabolism begins to drop. This process doesn't feel dramatic at first, which is why people ignore it. There is actually a term used to describe this decline: sedentary behavior. When a person spends most of the day sitting, the body enters a state where systems begin to function below their optimal level. Blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient, energy levels drop, and the risk of chronic conditions increases. Think of your body like a machine that hasn't been used for years. It doesn't break because it was overused, it stops working because it wasn't used enough. The longer it stays inactive, the harder it becomes to restart it. But here's the encouraging part. You don't need extreme workouts to reverse this. Simple, consistent movement is enough to activate your body again. The goal is not intensity, it's consistency, because the body responds not to occasional effort, but to daily repetition. If there's one activity that almost everyone can do, regardless of age or fitness level, it's walking. and yet it's often underestimated because it seems too simple to be effective. But science consistently shows that regular walking has a powerful impact on overall health. Walking improves circulation, supports heart health, helps regulate blood sugar, and even enhances mental clarity. It doesn't require special equipment, expensive memberships, or complicated routines, just a commitment to step outside and move. The mistake most people make is thinking they need to do too much too soon. They set unrealistic goals, fail to maintain them, and eventually stop altogether. But the key is starting small and building gradually. Even 15 minutes a day can create noticeable changes. Over time, that can increase naturally as your body adapts and begins to feel the benefits. What starts as effort eventually becomes habit. Consistency matters more than speed or distance. A slow, regular walk is far more effective than occasional intense activity followed by long periods of inactivity. And beyond the physical benefits, walking has a psychological effect. It clears your mind, reduces stress, and creates a sense of balance that impacts every part of your day. Sometimes the simplest habits are the most powerful ones. Walking is important, but it's not the complete picture. There's another critical element that becomes increasingly important with age: strength and balance. Without these, even simple daily tasks can become difficult over time. As the body loses muscle mass gradually, stability decreases. This makes movements less controlled and increases the risk of falls, and falls are not minor incidents. They can lead to serious injuries that take months to recover from. The good news is that maintaining strength doesn't require complicated equipment. Simple bodyweight exercises can be enough to keep your muscles active and responsive. Movements like controlled squats, gentle push movements, or standing balance exercises can make a significant difference. The goal is not to push your body to its limits, but to challenge it just enough to keep it engaged. When muscles are used regularly, they receive a signal to stay active and functional. Balance is equally important. It improves coordination and helps prevent accidents. Even small exercises that improve stability can contribute to long-term independence. Ignoring strength training is one of the biggest mistakes people make as they age. They focus only on comfort, not realizing that strength is what maintains that comfort in the long run, because independence is not maintained by rest, it's maintained by movement. Now let's move to something that people often underestimate: sleep and stress. Many believe that missing a few hours of sleep or feeling stressed occasionally is harmless. But when these patterns become consistent, they begin to affect the body in deeper ways. Stress triggers internal responses that were originally designed for short-term survival. But when these responses stay active for long periods, they start creating imbalance. Systems that should function smoothly begin to slow down or become inefficient. Sleep is the time when your body repairs itself. Without proper rest, recovery processes are incomplete. This leads to fatigue, reduced focus, and gradually declining performance in everyday activities. Irregular sleep schedules make things worse. When your body doesn't know when to rest or wake up, internal rhythms become disrupted. This affects not just energy levels, but also digestion, mood, and overall function. Screens before bedtime add another layer to the problem. They stimulate the brain and delay the natural transition into rest. This makes it harder to fall asleep and reduces sleep quality. The solution is not complicated, but it requires consistency. Regular timing, reduced stimulation before bed, and creating a calm environment can significantly improve sleep quality over time, because rest is not a luxury, it's a requirement. Let me share something that brings everything together. Real change doesn't happen through extreme actions. It happens through small, consistent adjustments made over time. And when done correctly, these changes can transform your health in ways you didn't think were possible. Imagine someone who has spent years following habits that slowly affected their body. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, they begin with one small change, then another, and another. Over time, these changes start to compound. Within a few months, improvements become visible. Energy levels increase, physical discomfort reduces, and everyday tasks become easier. This is not because of a single major action, but because of consistent effort applied daily. The key is patience. Most people expect immediate results and lose motivation when they don't see them. But the body works gradually. What took years to develop cannot be reversed overnight. Consistency builds momentum. Once you start noticing small improvements, it becomes easier to continue. What once felt like effort becomes routine. And eventually, those routines become your new normal. Because transformation is not about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing the right things consistently. Now let's talk about something most people either ignore completely or overdo out of fear: medical tests. Some people avoid doctors for years, believing that if they feel fine, everything must be fine. Others do the opposite, constantly testing without understanding what the results actually mean. Both approaches create problems instead of solving them. The reality is simple. Many serious health conditions do not show clear symptoms in the early stages. You can feel completely normal while something is slowly developing inside your body. That's why basic testing is not about reacting to illness, it's about detecting changes before they become serious. There are a few essential checks that provide valuable information about your internal health. These are not complicated or excessive, but they give a clear picture of what's happening beneath the surface. When done regularly, they allow you to take action early instead of waiting for symptoms. One important aspect is consistency. Testing once and ignoring it for years does not help. Tracking changes over time is what makes these tests meaningful. Small shifts can indicate patterns that need attention before they become major issues. Another key point is understanding the results. Numbers alone don't mean much unless you know what they represent. That's why it's important to discuss them properly instead of just collecting reports. Think of these tests as a window into your body. They don't fix anything by themselves, but they show you where to focus your attention. And when used correctly, they become one of the most powerful tools for prevention. Many people feel frustrated with medical visits, short appointments, quick prescriptions, and a sense of not being fully heard. But the truth is, the outcome of a consultation often depends on how prepared you are when you walk in. Most people rely on memory during appointments, and in that moment, they forget important details. This leads to incomplete conversations and missed opportunities to address real concerns. Preparation changes everything. Before visiting, write down your symptoms, questions, and concerns clearly. Even a simple list can help guide the conversation and ensure nothing important is left out. This small step can significantly improve the quality of your consultation. Another important habit is asking questions. If something is unclear, ask for clarification. Understanding your health is your responsibility, and good communication is part of that process. Doctors are a resource, not a solution by themselves. The more actively you participate, the better the outcome. Passive visits lead to passive results. Keeping a personal record of your health information is also valuable. It allows you to track changes and provides continuity across different consultations, because effective healthcare is not just about treatment, it's about collaboration. Let me share a story that brings everything together. A man in his late 50s came in for a consultation, not because he wanted to, but because someone close to him insisted. He had been living with multiple issues for years: low energy, poor sleep, and difficulty with basic physical activity. When he sat down, his question was simple but powerful: how much time do I have left? Not said jokingly, but with genuine concern. He believed his condition was beyond repair, that the damage had already been done. Instead of making drastic changes, we started small, one habit at a time. No extreme diet, no intense exercise plan, just simple adjustments that could be maintained consistently. Over the next few months, those small changes began to add up. Gradually, his energy improved, his movement became easier, his daily routine started feeling less exhausting. What changed was not one major decision, but a series of small ones repeated daily, and over time, those decisions created visible results. The most important shift was not physical, it was mental. He stopped seeing himself as someone stuck with his condition and started seeing himself as someone who could change it, and that shift is where real transformation begins. What you need to understand is this: your life is shaped by small daily decisions, not by rare moments of effort. Every choice you make, no matter how small it seems, contributes to the direction your health is moving. Choosing what to eat, whether to move, how to respond to stress, whether to rest properly, these decisions happen every single day, and over time they create patterns that define your overall well-being. The problem is, most people underestimate these choices because they don't see immediate results. They think this one decision won't matter. But when repeated over months and years, it matters more than anything else. Consistency is what creates change. Not perfection, not intensity, but repetition. Doing the right thing again and again, even when it feels small or insignificant. Once you start building these habits, they become automatic. What once required effort becomes part of your routine, and that's when change becomes sustainable. This is how long-term health is built, not through sudden transformations, but through steady progress, because the direction you move in daily determines where you end up over time. At this point, everything comes down to one simple truth: you are not powerless. Your health is not controlled by a single factor, and it is not determined overnight. It is shaped by what you do consistently, day after day. The warning signs your body gives you are not random. They are signals that something needs attention. Ignoring them doesn't make them disappear, it only delays the moment when they become harder to manage. The good news is, you don't need to fix everything at once. Start with one step, one small change that you can maintain without pressure, then build from there. Because progress is not about speed, it's about direction. As long as you are moving in the right direction, you are improving your future. Think about where you want to be a year from now. Not just how you look, but how you feel, how you move, how you live. That future is built by what you choose to do today. And now I want you to do something important. Decide your first step. It can be small, but make it real. Write it down, commit to it, and start. Because the moment you take responsibility for your choices, everything begins to change, and that change starts now.